Okay, Gary, we've had this question recently. We have it often. So, can you grow a company too fast?
That is a great question, because often in the industry, and what has brought this up, this gentleman that we're referring to on this question this time had gone to a seminar put on by someone, and they had told him that it's unhealthy to grow your company over 20% each year. But here's the whole process that you have to consider. And this is very different at GBC than what anything I see anywhere else. But we often use what we have an iceberg so that we can visualize how this process works. And processes, systems, all of those things are really only 20%. Personal development and leadership is 80%. And my response to this person is, because he's growing at 200 to 300% a year and is on track to do even better again this year than that, is you're only going to grow an organization and company to the level of leadership ability that you have. And what happened with this individual is he went on a serious path of personal and professional growth. And in the result of that is his company is growing tremendously. And his fear was that he's going to end up at some point where it was going to have a negative effect. But the interesting part is he's also attracting so much different talent than he did 5 years ago, because he's at such a different place personally, such a different place professionally. So it's not really unhealthy at all to have 2, 3, 4, and 500% growth. Those things happen, and they're sustainable year after year. That's how large companies get very large. They do that consistently, but it has more to do about the leadership. We've also seen when the leadership checks out and hits the cruise control button and lets it ride, you'll also start to see the company decline in the same fashion. So if you're going to focus 80% of your time on purely systems, accounting, processes, 20% is very aggressive. If you're going to focus your attention on personal development and leadership development and getting the right talent in the right spots, the sky's the limit. There is no wrong answer, and there's no right answer to what the growth should be. It will just continue to go and go and go. So it really just depends on the approach that you take.
Well, it's that saying that you use and have on shirts now is success loves speed. So you get your team prepared for success, prepared for growth ahead of time. I know when I'm working on job descriptions with people, we'll put in additional stuff. Okay, I understand you might not be doing this right now, but let's think ahead.
Right.
Let's make sure we have that in there and know that this could be coming down the pipeline.
Right. That's why often when we are filling out those organizational charts, we're trying to get their goals for their 3, 5, 10 years, and we're already setting all those positions up. So 20% is very aggressive if you don't do that. But if we have already slotted to have doubled the positions in the management team as needed, once the right flags drop, they just know exactly which step to take, and that's how they can sustain that aggressive growth. Back to success loves speed, that's a whole nother conversation about momentum, and we like to talk about momentum. I have started a lot of businesses and have various of them still today. And the one thing I have seen, if there's ever been a time in any of my businesses and working with clients, once you killed the momentum, it is almost impossible to ever regain it. In fact, I'm not convinced I've ever seen it come back with the pace that it had at its peak. So that's why we really try to focus on laying out a roadmap for companies to follow so that they can know exactly which steps to take to keep that speed, that momentum going. It's all about momentum. And you see it in professional sports, you see it in companies, but once they lose that momentum, in professional sports, often you might have to do a total coaching change, and a lot of things have to change in order to try to regain it. And often it takes years and years. So,
yeah, well, you just gave a great example. It's leadership down.
Yes,
and those things
absolutely. And 80% is leadership for any company growth. 20% is your processes and your systems. And I will challenge anyone on that any day. We have so many stories to prove that leadership and personal development are priority number one.